everyone. I want to talk to you about self-discipline because this is something that we all struggle with at times, especially when it comes to those tasks that you really, really don't feel like doing. All right. So I want to use an example that I went through this weekend when doing my tax report that I needed to prepare so that my accountant can then process and do all the rest of the work. And for me, dealing with numbers and kind of preparing and, putting it all down and all that is not something that I enjoy doing so much. So obviously, when the day arrived, because I said to myself that Saturday is going to be the day when I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do that, when the day arrived, my brain naturally started offering all different sorts of reasons for why Saturday isn't the best day to do it. It's interesting, right? Like all different amazing and believable and strong reasons. And I was getting caught up in these stories, and I want to share with you what I did. So there were essentially 3 steps that I did. First and foremost, I recognized that these are just sentences that my brain is coming up with. These are just excuses that my brain is coming with. And I decided that I'm not going to take any of those reasons as a good reason, as a reason that's good enough for me not to follow up with my commitments. So I literally made this decision. I said, my brain can come up with all these stories, but I'm still going to keep being committed to myself and what I said to myself that I'm going to do. All right, no matter how hard it was, and no matter how much I didn't feel like doing it, and no matter how many other amazing things maybe I could have done instead, I decided that not feeling like it is not the valid reason for me why not to do it. Okay, so essentially, I decided that I can feel whatever I feel and do it anyway. All right. The second thing that I did is instead of being like, all right, I'm going to sit down now and I'm not going to stand up until I'm done with it all, I decided to break it down into smaller pieces that are definitely much more manageable in my mind to do. They feel much smaller, so to say, right? So essentially I said to myself, all right, now I'm going to sit down and now I'm going to prepare the first part of the report. Then I started working on it and I built a momentum and it felt, manageable and not as big of a deal as I put in my brain before I even started. Then I did the second part of the report. Then I did the third part of the report and eventually I was done with it. Okay. So I broke it down into smaller pieces, second part, and then not even realizing I built the momentum and just kept going. I was in the flow. I just kept going and I didn't anymore think about why I shouldn't do it and so forth. This kind of thoughts essentially really disappeared. So what I want to offer to you, when you are dealing with something that you don't feel like doing, and when your brain starts offering all different sorts of thoughts and reasons why you should not do it back then, stop there and decide that there is no reason good enough for you not to follow through with your commitments. Decide that you can feel like not doing it and still do it. Then break the task into smaller pieces. So instead of overwhelming yourself and putting extra pressure and stress, break it down. So think about how can I put this into smaller, more manageable pieces so that I can allow myself to start smaller and then add on top of it until you've built the momentum and just kept going and eventually again, you were done with the tasks. So let me know, what do you think about that? Let me know, how do you normally motivate yourself and build this discipline? I'm looking forward to hearing from you.